Hey everyone, and welcome back to Game Over, Order Up, the show where we take a look at a game while also trying to cook some food from that game. Today we're looking at Pokémon Legends Arceus. Or should that be Arceus? 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 You know what, let's consult the movie.
I have finally come to understand that I am truly a part of it.
See ya, Arceus! Bye, Arceus! Bye, Arceus! And thank you for everything!
Thanks, Ash. Pokémon Legends Arceus is the newest in the legacy of Pokémon games out of the Pokémon Company, Game Freak, and Nintendo. Set in the Hisui region, which is the Sinnoh region from Diamond and Pearl, but in the past, Pokémon Legends tasks you with being one of the first to adventure the land, making notes about the Pokémon that live there, and investigating mysterious wormholes that have appeared in the most open Pokémon adventure yet. And when it comes to food, there is some, or rather, one food. Jubilife Village, which acts as your base of operations, has a cook called Benny who runs the restaurant there. Benny can make one thing, and that thing is Potato Mochi, a dish I had never heard of before, but which is described as a sweet and savoury potato-based snack. Considering how much you have of it in the game, I was intrigued enough to give it a shot. Now before we get started, I would like to remind you that, if you like this video, it would be greatly appreciated if you could hit the like, subscribe and the bell button below. And if you really liked it, taking the time out of your day to share it with your friends, family, or your favourite Reddit site would really make my day. I have a great time making these videos and would love to share them with more people. Now, onto the recipe. First things first, we're going to put on an apron so we don't risk ruining our white t-shirt with whatever mess we end up making. Then we're going to take 3 potatoes, apologise for the flickering of the camera in this shot, and begin peeling the potatoes until there is no skin left. The method we'll be using includes cutting and boiling the potatoes in water. You could prick them and put them in a microwave for 6 minutes before removing the skin if you wanted, but I wanted to make it in a similar way to what Benny would have done, and I don't think he had access to a microwave or a Rotom to do it for him. With our potatoes peeled, we're going to chop them into small chunks to make boiling them quicker and easier. Speaking of boiling, it's boiling time. We're bringing a pot of water to the boil before placing our chopped potatoes into it. I've just recently learned the tip to pouring things into already boiled water is to do it with a colander or a sieve, which saves the water splashing back at you when you place things in manually. I am 29 years old. We're boiling the potatoes until they are soft and ready for mashing before draining and, well, mashing them. Once fully mashed, we're going to leave them to cool for half an hour before moving on to the next step. And while they're cooling, let's take a look at the game. I was not expecting much from Pokémon Legends. Pre-release trailers did very little for me, and I went into this thinking that the game was going to be fairly bad. Now it doesn't happen often, but I'm happy to admit that in this instance, I was very wrong. Pokémon Legends Arceus is a triumph that launches the Pokémon series forward in more ways than ever before. Featuring a world comprised of a bunch of open areas, this is a Pokémon land that, in spite of having less people, feels more alive than ever. You're tasked with exploring around and catching Pokémon as they go about their lives in their natural habitat. There's no random encounters here, every Pokémon is out in the open doing its thing, and the transitions from running to catching to battling happen so smoothly that you're never taken out of the moment. Whereas previous games would have every Pokémon battle transport you to a micro arena, here everything you do happens out in the world, and with no need to enter battle to even capture Pokémon since you could just chuck balls at them as you run past, there is a fluidity to the gameplay that helps keep you invested at all times. There are also frankly too many side quests to do, and while a lot of them are fairly simple fetch quests, they encourage you to look and think about the world in a way that other Pokémon games simply don't, giving you plenty to explore and experience. That's not to say exploration is all smooth sailing though. In this game there are what's known as alpha Pokémon, bigger versions of existing Pokémon that will happily mess you up. Rather than just entering a Pokémon battle, these creatures will hunt you down and attack you on sight, regardless of your status or level. They're tough, scary, and add an exhilarating twist to an adventure that is otherwise fairly relaxing. I do have a couple of issues with the game though. While the story is mostly fine, it gets in the way and drags on a bit at times when I'd rather just be out exploring at my own pace. But my main issue with the game is the way the game looks. While I think the character models are good and the Pokémon look great interacting with the world, the land itself is downright ugly and, at times, looks unfinished. Large swaths of open, empty land stretches out before you. While it's not the end of the world, it's something I got used to, especially as I explored through enclosed areas. It is disappointing, especially when other games from much earlier in the Switch's life cycle look a lot nicer. Overall, the game could have done with more time in the oven to bring some of the visual aspects further in line with the rest of the game, but I do recognise that, with Pokemon's production cycle, that just isn't possible. Visual and story issues aside though, I think Pokémon Legends Arceus is outstanding and well worth experiencing for new and old Pokémon fans alike. We're back to the kitchen, and with our mashed potato cooled, we are pouring 1/4 cup of potato starch or corn flour and then mashing it in some more before mixing it all together. Once mixed, it's time to form them into the mochi shapes. Now mochi are traditionally dumplings, little round balls, but in the game the potato mochi is delivered in disc form, so that's what we're doing. Grabbing some potato, we're going to form it into a disc and put it on a plate ready for frying. I've managed to make 6 of varying sizes, which does not seem like many considering I used 3 whole potatoes for this. Now before we can fry them, we need our sweet sauce. I've looked at a number of recipes for what people do to their potato mochi sauce, and everyone seems to come to the same agreement. 2 tablespoons of mirin, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. Mixed together and good to go. Time to fry. We're heating vegetable oil in a pan over medium heat and then placing our discs into it to fry. We're going to fry for a few minutes on each side, attempting to be all cool by using chopsticks to flip them round, and when that fails, using a spatula instead like the chump that we are. Once they seem cooked on each side, it's time to pour our sauce over, flipping some more to ensure they are fully coated. And once cooked, eat them as soon as you can. These are best served hot. I feel like these came out surprisingly well for a dish I've never seen of or heard of before. I don't know if I did them like you're meant to, or even if they turned out right, and I'm not sure how I'd even check, but I can confirm that they are delicious. There's a slightly crispy exterior with a soft, mashy interior, and the flavours are delightful. No idea if I'm meant to eat them with my hands, but hey, I'm my own boss, and I can do what I want. I can see why they're such a great hit with the Hisui bunch. They're easy to make, tasty to eat, and a great afternoon snack. Perfect for the historic Pokemon adventurer on the go. Thanks for watching, see you next time.